Welcome back, everybody. My name is Eltimar, and we are going to be continuing our Let's Play of Pillars of Eternity. Where we left off last time, we were searching for a cipher for Eder. I did find one finally. The Mind Hunters in Old Song count as ciphers, so I'm instructing Estimar. What do you need? I'm going to show him a steel sun. Are you a cipher? I need to know about someone who might have touched this. The Orlan's eyes trace along the contours of the ornamental sun. Now and then he grunts appreciatively at some hidden detail. I find demonstrations are far more instructive than lectures. Perhaps we make progress today after all. He glances at his student. Pay attention. He takes the relic in his hand and his eyelids begin to flicker involuntarily over elongated pupils. For a moment it feels as though some slick and wriggling insect is crawling through your ear canal, and when it is over you can feel the Mindhunter's presence hovering over your consciousness. Come, I will show you the way. The voice reverberates through the channels of your mind. You close your eyes and concentrate. The sun is bright in your mind's eye, warm with the pulse of collective experience and noisy with the thoughts of the past, of battle, of faith, of home. You drift from voice to voice, thought to thought, Eder's soul a vibrant signature with which to locate his brother. One voice stands out amongst the din, brassy and earnest, a shade brighter than Eders, but unmistakably of the same construction. You have no image of its owner, but his journey is imprinted within the points and curves of the steel sun, and in your mind it opens before you as a path stretching both southward to the Gilded Vale and northward over uneven terrain that joins the Deerwood to the Red Saras. You trace the path back to its origin, far as you can find, gliding over plains and hillsides, to a one-room home in Gilded Vale with a thatched roof and dirt floor. The path is faint here, its distance and time rendering images blurry and details scarce. From Gilded Vale it follows a road towards Madmere Bridge, reaching the gates of Defiance Bay before diverting abruptly, cutting northward in a beeline for Red Saras. The path leads to a Red Saran city, regal and austere in the Eder imperial style. It winds through streets and climbs a grand set of stairs into a stately building, passing through pointed archways into what appears to be a throne room. Upon the throne sits a man whose head is pure, blinding light, and as its gaze turns towards you, the light drowns out all else. Its voice carries the force of thunder, but its words are impossible to make out in the imprint. Echoes of echoes. The voice and light fade, and the path bends backwards, carrying you along to a barracks, then back southward, marching into the Deerwood, and skirmishing along the way. Upon one battlefield, the imprint is vivid. You see a Red Saran standard, topped with a steel sun, clutched in the hands of a fallen soldier. You see a young man in Red Saran armor with Eder's straw-colored hair, race towards the standard and lifted. The path you've been following, clear to see beneath his feet, and as his hand brushes the steel tip, you can hear his thoughts racing in a blur, and they are of his god and his country and a brother he hopes is far away from this place. In an instant the thoughts are gone as well as the man, and the standard is passed to another soldier. You pick the path up again as it meanders south and disintegrates in the shadow of Cleven Relag. You open your eyes.
Anything? Looked like you were working real hard there.
Your brother got as far as Defiance Bay before turning to Red Saras instead. He met Waidwin there, then he enlisted.
What'd he talk about with Widewin?
I don't know. Waidwin said it was a beam of light.
Figured that. Woden and me had heard enough stories from his uprising to know it wasn't just some tall tale. Doesn't mean he was Aethys. It could have been some wizard's trick. It's what they talked about that's important. What'd they say?
I don't know.
That's not funny. Come on. That metal sun, my brother touched it. You saw where he went. Now what'd he talk about with Widewin? Why'd my brother fight for Red Saras?
I really don't know.
I guess that's it.
Eder's mouth hangs open and his eyes glaze, his forehead creased between his eyebrows. He rakes his teeth over his lower lip. His voice is barely a whisper. It was always a long shot.
It's a funny thing. You can tell yourself that 100 different ways. Makes no difference in the end.
He nods, slowly staring into space. A new look has come over him, lifeless and dull as ash. We can go now. I've seen what I need to see. Fair enough. Sorry, dear.
Well,
that's all you got. Next up. I don't know what we're gonna do. Oh, we have a new quest. Boom. It's time to send Grieving Mother on another quest. Later. Alright, now what? Okay, so we've done that. We need to do... I guess we're gonna go do the Endless Paths now. Or this one. The Long Hunt. We have to go to the cliffs I saw in the vision. We'll do that one later. Grieving Mother's Pass, we're probably not going to do that one too much. We can't really do Galloway's quest because it won't let us turn it in for some reason. I don't really know why. So that's going to be a quest we're not able to finish either. So we're actually going to head back to Cadnoa. And we're going to start the Endless Paths. Apparently some of them are quite difficult. Apparently some of them are also quite easy. We're going to rest, pick up some food, and we're going to head into the depths. We're actually closing in, I believe, on the end of the game. Once we do the Endless Paths, we will try and finish up the rest of our side quests that we have. And then we'll be going to the Burial Isle, in which case we go down into the pit, and I believe that's the last area of the game.
Power and good intentions will only keep me upright for so.
Hey, we have a noble person with us. That's nice of her. Although we can't see who she is. Anyways, let's go rest. We have 2 campfires already, so we're good on that. I'm still a little underwhelmed by the amount of money I spent on repairing this tavern and the bonuses it gives. I think personally, and I know I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again, just to reiterate, in case anyone that is capable of making this executive decision is listening or watching, probably doubtful, but maybe, it should give all of the bonuses. You spend thousands, literally thousands and thousands of gold upgrading this keep. And all you get out of it, really, all you get out of it is a +1 to whatever stat you want, which is kind of, it's really bad. I know it's free to rest here, which is cool. It's neat on its own. Oh, Eder wants to talk. What's he want to talk about? Probably his brother.
Hope
What do you want?
Seem ungrateful back there on the battlefield. And you went out of your way.
I didn't notice.
Got real close. Didn't expect that. For a second, I thought I was gonna finally see some answers. Foolish, of course. And why should I get answers? There's a world of Aethasians out there. Don't know if their god's been blown up. Still, man can't help looking back. Guess you'd know that well as anyone.
He claps you on the shoulder, or me. Eder stares off, focusing on some distant thing, unseen and unrealized.
I might have turned my back on my god when he needed me. That's all I'll ever know.
Your mistake was in waiting for someone else to tell you what was right.
Guess if I'll never know any better, I may as well pick something I feel good about. The best part of worshipping a dead god is there's no punishments. Something to think about, I guess. Yes.
Excellent. Alright, now we're going back, or not going back, but we're going into the Endless Paths, which I'm actually fairly excited for. It's supposed to be a pretty cool dungeon. There is a creature called the Master Below down there, so I need a blanket. I am cold today. I'm cold because I only got like 4 hours of sleep. Unfortunately, my brother had to go to the hospital last night. It ended up being nothing, which is fine. Perfectly okay. But I kind of wish it was something minor, so that sitting there for 4.5 hours wouldn't have been wasted time. That's all I have to say on that. It was food poisoning or something from Tim Hortons. At least that's what he said it was. I have no verification of that. I have no evidence, but that is what he said, and now he's feeling better, so that's always a good thing. But I was still there till 2 in the morning, and then I woke up at 6:30, so I guess I got 4.5 hours of sleep. Yay. Slightly better, right? Do we have any prisoners? I don't think we have any prisoners. We built this prison. No prisoners. I'm sure there were times in the game where we could have taken prisoners, but we really didn't. We're a take-no-prisoner kind of group. We are a slaughter everyone until they get out of our way type of group, and that is the way Bleakwalkers like it. We're going down that way? That way. This way. This is the way we're going. I wonder if there's enemies down here again. Also, there really should be more than 2 campfires. Just to cut down on wandering back and forth.
Here we are. To think we are so close. Beneath our very feet lie the endless paths, built by Ardnua, the great Engwithan king. Well, up here, this is all Ederan, of course. But should we descend far enough, we will find some real history.
Excellent, Kana. We will do that.
Cover that great king's tomb would be a dream. But it is one of his servants I am after. Gabranos, a powerful mage and a dedicated scholar, a keeper of lore, just as I mean to be. He was in possession of the Tanvi Oratoa, or whatever form of it preceded the one we know. I've seen it in ruins, alongside Gabranos' name. Scraps of the same symbols and verses we know in Rauatai. He must have held the words in high regard. Or perhaps he was even the author.
Well, let's start looking then.
If my sources are correct, Gabranos will have brought the text with him. It will probably be within a library, or a tomb perhaps. It tends to be one of the two. Let's be off.
Alright then.
Nice and quiet.
I just wanted to check to see if there's anything here, and there was an overseeing ring. Not particularly useful, but we're going downstairs. Level 1. I don't actually know if this counts as Endless Dungeon Level 1. It might just be Introduction to Endless Dungeon? Nope, this is Level 2. Okay. So we were on Level 2 of Ad-Noir.
Kill them all!
That's a lot of things. More than I anticipated. Oh, that's okay. Stop it. Kill the worm. Not a particularly difficult first fight. Although I wasn't expecting it to be, I guess.
I shall be quiet as a calm sea. Which is not very quiet.
That dude is not gonna last very long. I actually feel kind of bad for that guy. He's just chilling there, minding his own business, suddenly shot in the face twice, hit with a wand, and then slashed apart. Kind of brutal. Why is there a corpse here? This Zarup is lying in a corner of the chamber. Its ribs show starkly beneath its scaly hide, and its breathing is labored, each whistling breath causing obvious discomfort. It doesn't seem to be reacting to your presence. I'll examine it. You look the sick creature over and notice its skin shows some discoloration, with ugly patches of yellow and livid purple. You note they seem to coincide with the placement of the ritualistic paint that has been daubed onto the creature. I'll cut his throat. The Zorup barely makes a sound. There's a muted wet gurgle, and then the creature lies still, blood pooling beneath the withered body. Soon enough, its eyes are glassy, empty of life. Did what he had to. You work on a farm long enough you come to understand it, even if it's never easy. I think I put it out of its misery, honestly. Not a terrible thing to do. Worm! You and your ranged attacks think you're so good. That's more like it. That's a real fight. I don't know if it's worth casting spells yet. We don't really want to waste our spells in the upper levels of the dungeon.
Kill them all! So much for you!
Yeah, we're not going to waste our spells this early on. Maybe a minor healing spell just to get Kana's life back up. There we go, he's fine. Alright. I guess we're moving on. So far, not too difficult. Couple Zarups, some worms.
Hello?
Curled against the inside of this broken shell is a tiny white shape. Only when a tiny toothed maw opens to let out a frightened squeak is it clear that this is a small worm recently hatched. I'll pick it up. We have a new pet, a tiny worm. But we already have the best pet in the game. We have the cute kitten, Sir Fluffykins the Bold and the Great, Kingslayer, the Dragon Reborn, King of the Andals and the First Men.
Be cautious. Be constant.
The Seeker of Truth, and who else could he be?
Bring them down!
You know, all the things.
Following your orders. Your tail ends here! Your tail ends here!
What is it?
Sorry if I'm not as talkative as I usually am today, guys. 4 hours of sleep, as I mentioned before. It's definitely taken its toll on me, that's for sure. I am a little bit tired today. Alright, let's get a fireball or something in here.
Following your law.
But yeah, Sir Fluffykins is the best pet, hands down. And anyone that says differently is a supporter of Joffrey Baratheon. So there you go. If you're a supporter of Joffrey, then you don't like Sir Fluffykins, the brave, the bold, seeker of truth, dragon reborn, king of the Andals in the first pen, and Lord of Light. There we go. Let's add another title there. What the hell is this? Zorop High Priest, stepping into this chamber, you are assailed by a cacophony of screeches, growls, and barks. Blood-spattered Zarops dance in frenetic leaping patterns, or motions. To one side, a Zorop plunges his hands into a bucket teeming with blood to daub patterns onto others eager to join the rites. At the far end of the room, one Zorop, wearing a long skull of a young drake and vibrant feathers, shakes a staff towards the gathered Zarops, screeching and clicking. The High Priest suddenly raises the staff above his head, shrieking with renewed vigor. He swings the staff downwards to point it at the pit, and then you. I'm not sure I like that suggestion. I don't like that either. That's a lot of Zarops. That's actually a really lot of Zarops. Shoot that dude. And you just come here for now. What? Why did none of my commands take? I'm actually not terribly upset about that, but just mildly annoyed. I don't think that this fight's going to cause us any significant troubles, actually. But let's kill this High Priest. There's also a worm there, but I'm not ultimately worried about the worm either. What are you doing? Kill that thing. If you're going to go running off, you at least shoot something. All the Zarops already? Oh yeah, we did. Look at that. Super duper easy fight. Turn back is what that ghost says.
As you wish.
There is only death upon the endless paths. Maybe other things deaths. This bucket is filled with blood. It gives off an acrid stench. You recognize it as Mokka's tears, a powerful poison. The blood spilled from this bucket seems to have eaten into the stone. The rope tied to the bucket looks long enough to descend into the pit. Well, I'm not done looting the room yet, so it can wait a minute.
Keeping an eye out.
I doubt that the shelf is trapped, but you never know. I wonder if we're going to come out of here with any good magical items. I'm hoping so. Alright, let's go down to the pit. The wide pit descends into grim darkness. You hear the whistling sound of wind, and from time to time hot gusts of air tug at your clothing. Let's descend to the pit. You take a grappling hook from your pack and tie it off neatly around one of the heavy stone blocks surrounding the pit. A few hard tugs suggest the rope will hold fast. Keeping a firm hold on the rope, you begin to your descent into the darkness. Soon the edge of the pit is far above your head, and you hear only the creak of the rope and your own breaths. Soon enough, however, you see another source of light far below. Past the dangling end of the rope, you can see a dimly lit room, at the center of which is a circular stone pool. The pool is filled with blood, and even at the distance you can pick out the various limbs and mangled bodies, largely Zarop in nature. The tunnel bored into the stone extends ways above the chamber below, and your rope extends no farther. I mean, we could just jump down. I don't know if that sounds like a great idea, though. Let's climb back up. You know what? Screw that. No, we're just gonna go down. Jump down to the pool of blood. Bracing yourself for the landing, you loosen your hold, dropping down the remaining distance to land within the pool of blood with a noisy splash. The thick, murky waters hinder your swimming, threatening to pull you down into the unseen depths of this grim pool. But at last you crest the surface and pull yourself up and over the edge, only to find yourself at the edge of a reeking, sludgy mixture of blood and limbs. That's disturbing. Why couldn't you load this map while I was climbing down? Ew, grody. Limbs and organs bob in this mire of blood and gristle. The carnage stirs with the occasional gust of wind from the tunnel above. Yuck. What level am I on now? Level 5, so I've gone down a ways. I missed levels 3 and 4. Which isn't awful, just not good, is that? At the edge of this expansive chamber, encircled by a jabbering host of Zarops, stands a massive reptilian creature. Its snout is splattered with the bloody remnants of a recent meal. Gobbets of flesh still speared on crooked fingers. The Zorop shift anxiously, looking up expectantly at the Drake as the beast stretches leathery wings in challenge, brushing the pillars to either side. Yes, yes, more sacrifice! It flaps its wings briefly and stirs up a great cloud of dust. Come here, godlike, be honored. You speak? The Drake stamps one clawed foot upon the ground. I speak, and stone shakes. I speak, and lizards bring gold. I speak, and eat well. Yes, I speak. I think I'll mount your head on the wall of my keep. The Drake lets out a rattling screech of defiance that sets the Zarops to brandishing their spears. It hurts me not. Master made me lord here. Master made me king here. And the king will have sacrifice. No. And you go fight the Drake. Actually, this is a good position for book learning. Book learning time. 2 book learnings. Let's kill the Drake. Actually, Pelagine is kind of getting
This thing isn't doing the job.
hurt pretty badly. Let's get a small, medium-ish healer on her. There we go. I'll kill the Drake.
Yes.
There we go, Drake dead. Pelagina should be perfectly fine. Does she have lay on hands, actually? There you go, heal yourself. Alright. Dead. Dead, dead, dead. All of them are dead. And we got something new. Ifgan Birngar Solus is a medium shield with exceptional preservation. We also found a locket which gives endurance. Not bad. Not terrible anyways. That's it? That's all there was here? Just this one room? Oh no, it goes over this way. Okay. Okay, that's way down. We're gonna go back up and actually finish the other levels, because I don't want to miss any levels just by jumping down a huge well into a bloody pool of water. That's not cool. Let's see what we got. A letter! I missed it. What does it say? It says... It's an expedition log page. This appears to be a page torn from some larger text. Cedia did not make it. I know Merrick tried his best. No point in turning back now. That's what Merrick is saying. I think the point is leaving these ruins alive. We have lost half our people already. I'm not sure how we were meant to survive this place, especially with Cedia gone. Saida? The gods were kind to let us find that study and the books there. Those tomes would fetch a good price in and of themselves. We don't need to go any further. But that seal has stirred his blood. He sure will find more Angwithan relics below. Every step takes us further from a guaranteed haul and deeper into unknown territory. I don't know what madness has gripped him. I can't stop thinking about Adriga, the way she screamed. Excuse me guys, sorry. Sneezy today apparently. Shoot the High Priest. I guess we can do some more books. It's actually a decent attack. It does a lot of AoE damage.
What is it? It may be time to strike up Carol.
Cap, are you serious? We literally slept right before we got into this place.
Kill them all.
Your endurance is staggeringly bad for an Ebola, kinda.
We'll take care of it.
That's a door with no
You
opening.
won't see me coming.
A door with a button opening. I mean, it was just kind of pretty obvious that something was hidden there. Oh, there's a lot of treasure in this room. I like treasure. What is that? Ornate sword hilt. Alright, I'll take it. Find more pieces of the ancient sword. I'll try my best. Find mace, find large shield. We're gonna have to explore this dungeon very well to find the pieces of this puzzle and get a brand new
Keeping an eye
ancient ornate sword. I'm actually gonna pause here, go take a quick break, and then I'll come back for the next video. Like always, if you guys have any suggestions or comments, please leave them below. Otherwise, I will see you guys next time.